Greetings, my name is Diana Rendon and this is my second lesson plan for Pasantías Preprofesionales 1. During this video, I'll explain how I would approach a 30-minute class for second grade students with a basic level of proficiency in English. During my last video, I talked about predictable routines. For this video, I'll talk about something all teachers should keep in mind. That is the day and the hour in which the lesson takes place. Is it on Monday? Is it on Friday? Is it on first period or last period? Is it after recess or maybe after physical education? Keeping track of these things helps a teacher predict how tired or ready the students will be and adjust the lesson accordingly. Something else I didn't mention in my last video is the importance of communicating the lesson's objectives to the students. Knowing the lesson's objectives gives the students something to focus on and strive towards during class. Today's topic is home. I'll start the class by greeting them to keep up with the predictable routines, followed by the anticipatory set. The anticipatory set this time is the song called My House from Pink Phone Songs. I'll link it for the video in the description below, and after which I'll explain the lesson's objectives to the students. I'll do all of this using the direct method, focusing on oral skills and using the target language. Next, I'll use a big colorful poster, this, to guide the students into a repeat after me exercise while pointing at the parts of the house. For this part of the lesson, I use an audio-lingual method. Following this, I'll post a big poster of a big empty house to the board, one such as this but bigger. And then I'll ask volunteers to come forward into the front of the class and use paper cutouts of objects commonly found in homes into the proper room of the house. Following this, I'll produce copies of these objects, the ones commonly found in homes, and using these props, I'll explain the difference between there is and there are for the students. For example, I'll produce 2 copies of a chair, or like in here, a couch, and paste the couch into the living room and say there is 1 couch in the living room. Then produce another, paste it, and say there are 2 couches in the living room. Following this, the student who volunteers to go to the front of the class not only has to paste the object into the correct room, but also has to use there is or there are depending on the number of objects they are interacting with. If the students are tired or unruly, there are alternative activities we can do during this part of the class. Instead, to introduce the topic, instead of explaining, I'll show the class a video. The suggested video in the link in the description below, and then propose a game between classmates. Regardless of the approach you use to introduce the topic, I'll use a communicative approach during this part of the lesson, focusing on communication and getting the message across instead of focusing on every little mistake. Finally, for practice, I'll give an A4 picture of an empty house to the students, and I'll ask them to search for objects in magazines or catalogs. Cut and paste them into the correct room. It is recommended for the teacher to bring extra materials such as scissors, glue, and magazines for this, because young students such as second graders, like in my example, tend to forget the materials, or perhaps they weren't present when the materials were requested. What the students have to do is cut these objects and fill their home. And that is all for today's lesson. Thank you.